and friends. Today is a great day and one that we look forward to with each graduating class. This ceremony is called the Pinning and Candlelight, which will be followed by graduation. As we prepare for each graduation and pinning ceremony, we are often asked, what is the pinning and candlelight ceremony and why do we do it? So I would like to briefly explain the history and significance of today's pinning ceremony, and the candlelight portion will be addressed by Joyce, our faculty speaker. Again, we will refer to the most famous nurse in modern history, Florence Nightingale, who began the pinning ceremony in the nursing school that she founded in London. This was the first modern school of nursing, and it was founded by her in 1860s. However, Nightingale was not the first to give a ceremonial pin to those who had served the sick and wounded. The history of the pinning dates all the way back to the 12th century and during the time known as the Crusades. This was the time of lengthy and bloody battles that left hundreds of thousands of soldiers wounded. Among this group of wounded soldiers were the Knights of the Order. These Crusader Knights were so grateful for anyone that would tend to them and help their wounds heal. Their gratitude left them devoted themselves in the rest of their lives to good works, which included tending to the wounded and to the ill. Each of the knights took a vow to serve the sick. Each knight was presented with the Maltese cross that not only symbolized their Christian beliefs, but also symbol of Medal of Excellence. Nightingale recognized this historic event and wanted to replicate it by presenting her nurses graduates with a similar Medal of Excellence, and that began the first pinning ceremony. Graduates, you are the nurses that Nightingale had envisioned to transform healthcare over 100 years ago, when she wrote in the 1880s, it would take 100 to 150 years before educated and experienced nurses would arrive to change the healthcare system. You've arrived to change that healthcare system and carry forth Nightingale's vision to create a healthier world. Today, we follow the footsteps of Nightingale as we present each of you with your own Medal of Excellence in the form of a nursing pin. It is our hope as nursing faculty that each of you will receive your pin, that you will commit to practice nursing with excellence, provide exceptional care that will facilitate health and healing to all of those who you serve. Be mindful of those who have courageously gone before you. Express gratitude for those who have helped you reach this point of your life. We have shared with you what we know about the art and science of nursing. It is now your turn to share your gifts and healing influences with others. Congratulations on this accomplishment. Our program will go as outlined. We will begin with our student speakers, Todd Glazier, followed by Amy Hogan. Our concluding speaker will be Joyce Johnson. We'll take the program to that point.
Hello and welcome. First, I'd like to thank faculty and my fellow cohorts for allowing me to speak today. It is an honor to be up here before all of you. So, a few things I just wanted to highlight before I get started is the fact that, to everyone down there, hey, we made it. It's been a great 20 months, right? And, it's amazing that of our journey of where we started to where we are now. It wasn't too long ago that we were kind of laughing in our terminology class, picturing, a whale with a nipple and thinking about, man as a breast, to our OB class talking about, enchiladas, to our capstone, and to here. It's been quite a ride, and I'm honored to have shared that experience with all of my fellow cohorts. So thank you, and congratulations, class of 2016. So when I was asked to speak today, of course, it was maybe about 1 hour after I took my NCLEX, and I was just so relieved that it was over. I was on the highest of high. And so, of course, I agreed. If it would have been the next day where I went on a downward spiral of emotions, waiting for the results, I probably would have, but here I am. And I didn't really know what to speak about. Doing some reading and, I don't know, soul searching, I kind of went past this topic that was about friction. So, most people, they spend their entire lives trying to avoid friction. Somewhere along my path, my career, I found kind of a desire or calling to embrace friction, tension, transitions, and changes, and to work with them. You don't really need a mathematician or a psychic to understand that, life is about change. Because really life, and this program, it is friction. And so, of course, it continues throughout the course of our life, all the way into our passing. It's always there, and for some people, it can kind of be a daunting realization that, gravity will always win. It doesn't cut anybody any slack. So you can either choose to work with it, or you don't. For a lot of us here in nursing school, we made a very tough decision to work with the changes. Healthcare is all about changes. Changes all the time. And so we work with it, and we work towards our goals, and we kind of embrace all of this friction. For me, that's kind of what this program is all about, and that's what life is all about. And so, working with these tensions and these frictions, it's a very complicated and very rewarding path to take. And a good example that I found of working with friction is something like a cello. So you take wood, you bend it into impossible shapes, curves and angles, kind of like a student. They bend us and they put us in, our clinicals or long class hours to the point of breaking, but we don't break. Right to that edge. And then for the cello, you string it. Not to the point of breaking, but just on that edge. Then you take that bow and you place it across those strings, and you have that moment. And like us, we have that moment with our patient that we're taking care of. It's that release. That's our form of nursing. It's sonic joy, sadness, anger, and happiness, all within that moment. And so what's appealing to me about this is when you find, these individuals that capture that moment. And that's kind of why I do what I do, why I've chosen this path. To witness, the friction, the art of life, the art of healing. It can be in many forms. It can be on a canvas. It can be through your lens of your camera. It can be in food. It can be in music. And nursing is what I've chosen because I think there's a lot of beauty and a lot of reward in playing that role to help our patients to heal and to progress. And in other instances, to offer them comfort in grieving. So, in closing, it's hard to kind of, individualize everything, but I can say as a collective, this class has really gone through a lot and shown a lot of perseverance through everything. And I'm very happy to have shared the classroom with you, and I thank all of you for your help. And I thank all of the families here today for offering your support with all of us students, and the faculty for guiding us and showing us the way, making us do those long assignments that we didn't want to do. Practicing those fundamental skills that we thought were just kind of tedious and basic. And so going forth, we're going to be nurses. And as nurses, we have the responsibility to be that shoulder to cry on, that person to vent to, and a person to help family members over the loss of a loved one, and to aid individuals who are close to the end. And more importantly, we are an advocate and an ally to our patients. So, once again, congratulations everyone, and I'll be seeing you guys around. Thank you.
Hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amy Hogan. I just want to start by thanking you for letting me have this opportunity to speak to all of you today on behalf of the graduating class of 2016. Thank you to all of our family and friends who are here to support us tonight. I think Ameritech strategically holds this graduation ceremony a month after finals so that we have time to reconnect with our loved ones who are wondering where we've been for the last 18 months, so that we actually have someone to invite to graduation. I want to thank all of our instructors and all of the staff members for their time, their support, their shared experiences, their words of encouragement, and their endless supply of Kleenexes. I would like to thank one staff member in particular who made a very big difference in my nursing school experience. And that staff member is Linda Peterson. She is amazing. Second semester, I found myself 32 weeks pregnant, pre-eclamptic, and on bed rest. Linda did everything in her power to ensure that I finished out the semester, and that when I came back, after my leave of absence, that I transitioned comfortably into the night program. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank my family, especially my wonderful husband. Thank you for the countless hours you took off work to be with our newborn son when I had nursing school obligations. I'm sure that every graduate here tonight has someone in mind who has really helped them make their dream of becoming a nurse a reality. On their behalf, I would like to thank you. Without your love and support, none of us would be here tonight. Well, graduates, can you believe that just 5 short semesters ago, we were standing in a single file line, giggling to ourselves at the suggestion of buying a backpack on wheels, waiting to pick up our first stack of books that, little did we know, was half our height. What we have learned over the last 18 months is that nursing is not just a career choice, but a way of life. We are leaving nursing school behind and arriving at this point, better people because of all we have been taught. We have learned to be objective, to have compassion, to be patient, to have empathy, and above all, we have have developed a deep love and passion for the nursing culture. During my nursing school experience, I have had the pleasure of being in the presence of so many hardworking, determined, and dedicated people that I am honored to now call my friends. Together, we were guided through what's need to know and what's nice to know. We have completed 9 lengthy care plans, attended 517.5 clinical hours, took countless ATI practice tests, and observed 1 pelvis necklace birthing demonstration. And now here we are, emerging victorious as nurses. I would like to conclude my speech tonight with one of my favorite quotes by Ralph Waldo Emerson. It reads, "Dare to live the life you have dreamed for yourself. Go forward and make your dreams come true." As we start into our new nursing career, let us practice what we were taught in all of those ATI videos and perform hand hygiene, don gloves, and dive in wholeheartedly. Congratulations, graduates of 2016.
After 4 hours. But she had her PPE on. She wore this to cover her head, arms, and the front of her dress. When it became bloody, she took it off and changed it, and that was PPE. So let me tell you a little bit about Florence, or for short, Flo. All right, one of the most notable nurses in history is Florence Nightingale. She is known as the Angel of the Crimea, and is broadly acknowledged and revered as the pioneer of modern nursing. Florence was born in Italy on May 12, 1820, and was named after the city of her birth. She was born into a wealthy family and had what would be considered a privileged life. She was educated at home, and her interests were in math and medicine. At a time when England were rarely educated or allowed to participate in medical field, Florence learned 5 languages as well as history, philosophy, and mathematics. She began to visit the poor, but became very interested in looking after those who were ill. She visited hospitals in London and around the country to investigate possible occupations for women there. However, nursing was seen as employment that needed neither study nor intelligence, and nurses were not highly revered. In 1853, she became the superintendent of the establishment for gentle women during illness in London. In 1854, Florence was recruited by the Secretary of War, Sidney Herbert, to join the efforts of the Crimean War. She and 28 other nurses were sent to Turkey. In Turkey, Florence implemented sanitary reform, which dropped the death rates from 42% to 2%. She was deeply shocked and appalled by the living conditions in the military hospital. In these conditions, it was not surprising that Army hospitals' war wounds only accounted for 1 in 6 deaths. The majority of victims succumbed to diseases such as typhus, cholera, and dysentery. Angered by the deaths she saw in Turkey, Florence issued a report, Notes on Matters Affecting the Health of the British Army, and in 1858 to the Royal Commission. She also set up a nursing school in London, and in 1859 where sanitary practices were taught. During the Civil War, the Union Army contacted Florence to help with the field medicine. Her recommendations led to the forming of the United States Sanitary Commission. Florence and her team of nurses were able to create changes that brought the hospital into much better order. She established a vast kitchen and laundry. She looked after the soldiers and their wives and their children. She was on her feet for 24 hours a day, or 20 hours a day, and the nurses working with her were also overworked. She was the only woman allowed to be in the wards after 8 at night, and the wounded men, she became known as the Lady of the Lamp, as she would walk around carrying a lamp to light her way as she checked on the wounded and the ill. By her death in 1910 at the age of 90, Florence Nightingale had started her own nursing school, revolutionized patient care, and initiated the transformation of nursing into a respectable and important profession. The image of Florence with lamp in hand, held aloft to light the way, revealing an unmet needs, deeply determined, guided by both passion and science, is one that remains relevant to nursing today. We too can make our own unique contribution to healthcare. Just as Florence Nightingale brought the enlightenment to the profession of nursing in the 19th century, the passing of the candlelight is symbolic of the passing of knowledge from one generation to the next. As you receive your pin today, know that you have worked hard and deserve this badge of honor. Continue to wear this pin, and I want you to know, as your OB instructor, it was quite a semester, was it not? It was. Very informative, was it not? All right. I appreciate you. I'm so proud of you. I'm grateful to have known you. And as you know the Joyce way. Let's see it. Hello. All right. Congratulations, you guys. Take care. I love you.
We'd like to thank the speakers today, and it's always enlightening to hear about the nursing program from the students' perspective. Now, we will begin our pinning ceremony. For those of you who have first-line family members wanting to pin the graduate, please come to the right of the stage when you see your graduate going to the left. When your graduate's name is called, you will come up and meet in front of Florence and pin your graduate and get a picture taken. At which time, the graduate and you will exit off the stage. You will exit off the stage. Your graduate will come up onto the bleachers. For those of you being pinned by faculty members, also just come through, get your pinning, and don't forget to pick up your pin. After our pinning ceremony, we will have our pledge, which is going to be led by Miranda Brimley, and then we will have our candlelight ceremony.
Todd Glazier. Amy K. Hogan. Lorraine Miller, being pinned by Catherine Whitfield, her grandmother. Mariah Williams, being pinned by her mother, Kathy Williams. Lindsay Bonner, being pinned by Nikki Thorson, her sister. Curtis James Buckmiller. Melissa Good. Cheyenne Flores, being pinned by Sharana Lafada, her sister. Rhonda Fruhan. JC Pay. Dakota Van Buren. McCall Thomas. Robin Palmer. Jordan Campbell. Elizabeth Dufrey, being pinned by Laura Copling, her aunt. Shannon Boswell. Jamie Reading. Chelsea Compton. Shay Wanker. Allison Smith. Erica Pennington. Caitlin Lyons. Shelley Pollock, being pinned by her sister, Kelsey McNaughton. Ashley DeClerc. Mallory McBride, being pinned by Diana Jensen Mentor. Miranda Garlick. Sally Fuller. Anthony Pearson being pinned by his uncle, Scott Stringham. Curtis Farnsworth. Braden Pack. Brian Flood. Justin Wilson being pinned by his brother-in-law, Stephen Green. Jeffrey Clemmer. Jennifer Richardson. Roxanne Tidwell. Heather Margetts being pinned by Leanne Kamanu. Stacy Elmer being pinned by Stephanie Johnson, her cousin. Ryan Jordan Castleton. Alexis Snell. Alice Griffith. Nikki Hughes. Josie Sullivan, being pinned by her mother, Rochelle Sullivan. Amber Chavez. Lexi Wadless. Sarah Wohlquist. Yolanda Lopez, being pinned by Amanda Patton. Jeanette Swell, being pinned by Amanda Bagel, her niece. Harley Faulkner. Cassie Way, being pinned by Whitney Miller, her sister-in-law. Allison Hubble, being pinned by her mother, Ann Taylor. Paige Christiansen. Tracy Gilman. Jessica Johnson. Stacy Durfee. Lauren Ward. Ambre Thorne Ranco.
We will now recite the Nurses' Pledge.
It is located on the back of your program, and if you are a nurse and would like to participate with us, we invite you to do so, and please stand with us. Graduates, please raise your right hand. I solemnly pledge before God and in the presence of this assembly to practice faithfully my profession of nursing. I will do all in my power to make and maintain the highest standard of practice of my profession. I will hold in confidence all personal matters. I will devote myself to the welfare of my patients, my families, and my community. I will endeavor to fulfill my rights and privileges as a good citizen and take my share of responsibility in promoting the health and welfare of my community. I will constantly endeavor to increase my knowledge and skills in nursing and to use them wisely. I will zealously seek to nurse those who are ill, whomever they may be, and whenever they are in need. I will be active in assisting others in safeguarding and promoting the health and happiness of mankind.
Meritech graduates, it is with much joy today and our deepest appreciation that we congratulate you and welcome you as colleagues into the nursing profession. This marks the end of our pinning and candlelight ceremony. You may visit with your graduate and take pictures until approximately 5:15, at which time we need the graduates assemble in their caps and gowns for the graduation ceremonies, which will begin at 5:30. We will meet in the back. Congratulations.